Yeah, the very best of luck. Rita Littlewood burst onto the cobbles as an exotic dancer 40 years ago and hasn't stopped since.
As one of our best-loved street stalwarts, she's survived an abusive husband, a tram crash and even carbon monoxide poisoning. It's fair to say the queen of the cabin is one heck of a busy lass.
Rita Littlewood!
Dennis Tanner! Who travelled in and out.
How do you fancy getting engaged?
I'd like you to come with me as my wife.
Are you asking me to marry you?
Yeah. Why don't we get married?
Will you marry me? Marry me? Rita, will you marry me?
What? There's not an ounce of harm in this.
Girls don't come much sweeter than Senorita Rita.
Got to it. I've had it right up to here.
Robin! I feel as if I've lost an arm and a leg.
Get out. Yes, Dennis. I will.
Oh, we made you cry.
Oh.
We made you cry.
Barbara.
You sat down and I said, this will be absolutely... She said, I'm very nervous. I don't do this very often. I said, don't worry, it'll be absolutely fine. And now we've made you cry.
That was wonderful.
Did you like happy tears?
Yes. I mean, it's my life, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Gosh, that was beautiful. All those lovely
that's
scenes.
good, yeah.
Where did you get them? I didn't know that you had Philip Lowry and me, you know, holding each other years and years ago.
Yeah, yeah.
Well,
You are clever.
Well, you are clever. You gave
are.
us those scenes
Well,
for us to enjoy.
To link them all together, like, it's beautiful
Who
what
made
you've
that?
done.
Madeline. Well done,
Madeline,
Madeline.
well
Well,
very
Madeline,
good.
that's beautiful. Really clever.
Very
lovely,
good.
lovely.
You don't do these very often, do you? These sorts of
I think
chats?
this is the first.
Really? Why? Why don't you do
Well, I'm
them?
not very good at them. Some
Really?
people, no, I'm not. Some people are very good and they can chatter and say all sorts and be entertaining. But you've just seen I've just blubbed, and that's not right, is it? You know.
Let's talk about the wedding first of all, because Rita is to tie the knot with Dennis, and quite obviously in Coronation Street you can't imagine that would be the end of the story. You know, you've got to get kidnapped first of all, and interestingly enough, we're reading about the story and the lead up to it. They were quite frightening scenes for you to do, weren't they?
They were really beautifully written, absolutely marvellous, terrific location. Horrible weather, which we all complained about when we got there onto the lot, and it was absolutely arctic, I promise you. It was really, really vile. And then we all went, isn't this marvellous? Absolutely. I'd like to do a murder there. It was so fabulous, the set, yes. So that was a great help for starters, but brilliantly constructed.
But it was some of the scenes, yeah, and this is with Rick, who of course is the loan
Greg
shark.
was so
and
good. Do you know, I'd not met Greg till that morning.
Really?
On the side.
Really?
That is the essence of the street, really. You just go in and almost do it. And I'd not met that young man until I walked up to him on the set, and he was wonderful.
And he sort of grips you and pushes, like, goes to push you over into the canal. I'm not
That's
going to
right.
ruin anything for
That's
anyone, but I
right.
mean, you were really...
I was
actually
terrified, and I
properly
did
terrified.
it. I was terrified. What was so good about it, this complete stranger, I just said to him, I know we've got to do this, and I kept looking at the edge, which was there, and all the water, and I kept saying, just hang on to me. I will throw myself, but just hang on. And he did. And I thought, gosh, we've never met before. It's wonderful to
Well, he's
find
not going to let you
actors
go
like
in,
that.
is he?
That would be the end of his days on the soap, I think.
Goodbye, Greg Wood.
What a funny way to hand in your resignation.
Yeah. But you also had a real hand in the day itself, in the wedding dress and all the planning.
Yes. Well, I thought, being given this marvellous story once in a lifetime, I would treat it as if I was getting married, and that people out there will appreciate what you like. You want the dress to be right, the hat, the shoes, the flowers, the jewellery, everything. And I did, and I went all the way through it and had terrible times trying to find shoes. I could have looked like a gladiator very easily with straps all up my legs, but, you know, plain. Anyway, and the hat, I found a most wonderful lady. We have the most wonderful milliner in Manchester, which quite by chance I met at the, I can't remember now, a luncheon for special, well, I don't know. Anyway, I met
like
her.
a charity do type of thing, was it?
Yes, I suppose so. I can't think. We'll have to cut that bit out. But she has this marvellous milliner's, and I couldn't quite find it, so I took a hat of mine in, and she copied it in different colours, of course. So that was the hat. The dress, we took ages. I bought the chiffon weeks and weeks and weeks before it, because I wanted to have this colour. We did that. Carmela, marvellous dressmaker. We worked on it, and during scenes, if I had 5 minutes, I would go to my dressing room and she'd be doing and building it on
really
me. And
hands-on.
we wanted a sort of surprise element with it, which I won't tell you about anyway, but it all worked beautifully, I think.
And you're hoping not only that wedding fever rubs off across the nation, but also to be having the wedding on the Jubilee Day as well.
Isn't that brilliant?
Yeah, it is lovely.
Isn't that brilliant? I mean, Phil Collinson, our producer, he's worked this so brilliantly. You can't believe it, can you? That from bringing Philip Lowry back to play Dennis, to getting this story, to get this marvellous story for the Jubilee. Isn't that wonderful? And another tanner in the street.
Yes.
Isn't that brilliant?
Because when you started, you're saying that your first days there, back in the 60s, I think it was, wasn't it, when you started, that really was with, of the day, the most incredibly strong women characters.
Oh, they were marvellous. I mean, terrifying. You know, don't sit on that chair. One of those situations, but brilliant people, very good people, excellent actors, actresses, marvellous. And I learned a lot from them.
And these are people like, I mean, you would have started with Ina Sharples and Minnie Caldwell,
all of those.
Doris Speed.
Oh, I was terrified of them.
Were you?
I was absolutely terrified, because they hadn't had a younger person in it for a while, so I came in to find these wonderful, glorious people that were fated by the nation. They couldn't move, they were so admired and loved. And for me to go in there and look at these, God, I could not accept they were actors. I just thought, oh my God. And I lost my voice. I couldn't speak. It was sheer nerves.
Wow.
I just couldn't speak. However, they were very kind and, I don't know, helped me an awful lot. And we became great friends. They were wonderful, wonderful.
What do you think is the biggest change since your time being in Coronation Street? What's changed the most?
Oh, the speed, I think, of the way we do it. You know, that little story about Greg on the lot that morning. See, that happens a lot because you get the script, you're doing this, no rehearsals. You know, if I was doing a scene with you, Philip, I'd come and find you and say, shall we do this? Shall we run the lines now? Yes, OK, OK. And then in a few minutes, in the studio, and you're doing it. So the speed of it, and you do a lot more homework, simply because when I finish, I then go home and think, what's tomorrow? And I study tomorrow and study tomorrow. All of that is slightly different. We only did 2 episodes. No
Yes,
filming.
of course. I mean, the output now is huge with that.
And for you say that that it keeps you, obviously it keeps you sharp, but you describe it as, you know, the best job in the world. You're the luckiest woman in the world.
Oh, definitely. Well, without a doubt. Without a doubt. I mean, this little story, well, big story, is just a prime example of what has happened to my character and how the writers and Phil Collinson have thought about me. I mean, they could have given a wonderful story to somebody else, and to find somebody at my age on Jubilee weekend to give you this story, that really is remarkable. Absolutely. It is the best job in the world.
You had, I think it was 11 weeks off.
I did.
And it was interesting because you said I had 11 weeks off because I think I might have given a producer a bit of back chat.
I did.
And so you went bonkers during that 11 weeks because you were bored.
I did, yes. I mean, you think at first, oh, this is fabulous. I'm not getting up at 5:30. This is wonderful. Lovely. Second week, do a bit of shopping. Lovely. Third week, my daughter said, if you don't go back to work, I'm going to cut your vocals.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Well, it's great for you. It is. I mean, you two do a job that I couldn't do. You're up, you're here, you're doing this every day, 5 days a week, and seeing different people all the time. At least I know what I'm going in to do. But you must find it stimulating.
Oh, yeah.
Even the mornings when you think, oh, I don't want to go, I'm fed up.
We get to meet you, you see, that's the great thing.
Yes.
And we don't do this very often, but you deserve a round of applause. And we're so pleased to have you here. Thank you so very much indeed. It's been a real pleasure.
That's it?
Yeah, sadly, it's
don't
just too
believe
fast.
it.
Too fast.
Thank you very
much.
No, it's a pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's it for today. On tomorrow's show, David Beckham, Ray Winston and Larry Lamb. And we'll be wrapping up our Jubilee celebrations. Looking forward to this weekend's flotilla.
Now, though, for the last time this week, we're heading back to Kensington Palace and Glory.